Good morning, this is Stuart Davidson here, your friendly bean counter. Now, I saw a great article this morning. Homes England are investing in homes, as you know, throughout the country. Another £61 million into the Waterbeach development in Cambridgeshire. 6,500 houses are planned, which is a good thing, which is into infrastructure. It's homes that are really well needed. I think that's great. And there's the values are that they want to use local businesses, local firms to work on the scheme and to create the scheme. And as we've seen so many times, there's always a promise to this. Local authorities, Home England, they come out with the right words, that to use the local economy, local businesses. But what happens generally is when it comes to procurement, it'll be the large developers, it'll be the large contractors, it'll be national contractors, and it'll be people farmed in, shipped in from other areas, and it won't be the small local businesses. As we all know, it's happened so many times. So why is that? So part of the problem is the old-fashioned procurement routes. It's the old-fashioned way that money is managed, cash flow is managed, and it comes down at the end of the day to net worth, the size of the business, and they look at a percentage of turnover in terms of a business being able to carry out work on these types of projects. And often local businesses are small businesses. They've got a huge amount of expertise, more than capable of doing the work, but they get knocked back on the first part of the PQQ because the size of their business isn't big enough, or they haven't had the number of projects nationally that are required on the questionnaires, etc. So the way to solve this is to manage cash in a different way, to manage procurement in a different way. At the moment, the way that the procurement will go, the money gets paid from the developer, from Homes England, to the developer, to a national main contractor who will have a supply chain. Then that money will go through those hands, then it will go through each supplier's hands, and then they'll hold off payments for as long as possible. They have long payment terms. They haven't got mechanisms in place for quick payment terms. And the subcontractors and the suppliers are waiting for that money to come down the line. Well, there's a way of doing this in that if Homes England could have an independent cash flow manager and a cash flow system that track the cash through the system, and the main contractors and the contractors, all they did is brought their expertise and their skills. So small businesses can bring their expertise and their skills without having to have the net worth, and money is paid by a promise being passed down the line through the chain rather than money, and money managed and paid direct. That way, the risk of cash flow, robbing Peter to pay Paul, is taken completely away from the system, and the cash flow culture within construction is robbing Peter to pay Paul, robbing one job to pay another job to pay another job. But more than that, and particularly as the market is at the moment and will be over the next 12 months, it's ripe for cash farming. And cash farming is something I've spoken about quite a lot, where the money is paid through the chain. It goes out of the project, it comes back into the project, where certain contractors are looking for cash deals, and they buy that, then they try and liquidate it, bring the cash back in over several projects. It's common practice, everybody knows it goes on, and it slows down the payments. Why on earth these days and day and age do you need 49-day payments, 60-day payments, 90-day payments? Well, there you are. There's a little bit of a clue in there. There's no reason why payments can't be made weekly, 2 weekly, monthly, but it needs to be managed independently of the people that the supply chain. And there is a way of doing it. We can do it with modern technology. It can be done automatically. It can be done through a project bank account. It can be done direct through management via the funder, i.e. Homes England. And the thing is with money and cash it likes speed. It doesn't like friction. And what we've got in construction in the traditional procurement routes is friction. Longer payments, longer payments, longer payments. It goes through more hands. The payment, the money goes into a project, goes out of a project, goes into a project, goes out of a project. There is so much friction there. So when they talk about using local businesses, you know, I think we need to turn the procurement, the way we procure these infrastructure projects upside down, so we really can bring in the expertise of local businesses, you know, not the same old crew all the time. It's this kind of a handful of companies that get these big projects, and then we rely on their ability to manage the supply chain and manage the cash through that supply chain. And as we've seen, you know, look at Carillion. Look at the thousands and thousands of local businesses. Jobs were wrecked because of poor cash flow management, through cash farming, through robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know, this is a great opportunity here on this scheme, this brand new scheme, to get the procurement right, to get an independent cash flow manager on that project, an independent transparent cash flow tracking system that everybody gets paid what they're due, when they're due it. The cash can move quickly, the wealth can be created much quicker, it can be created on a local basis as well, to boost the local economy. Because what we want in construction is not big net worth players. What we want is skills and expertise. And I believe that there's a lot of skill and expertise that is not being utilised because we haven't got a modern day procurement process for modern day infrastructure, for modern day construction. So we need to get the commercials to catch up. So this is a little bit of a rant today, but when I see these things, I really want them to work and not go down the old fashioned route of high risk cash flow. And believe me, coming out of lockdown, cash flow will be at risk. There'll be a lot of companies that are struggling, that we need help with the cash flow. And I think this is an ideal opportunity to join up clients with their supply chains to work as one unified unit, one kind of bespoke company, if you like, working together for the same goal at the end of the day. We all want return on investment, clients want return on investment, people want places and homes to live in, and we want good quality, we want the right quality people there. But why should they be excluded? Because we haven't got the right cash flow management, we haven't got the right procurement routes in place. We sit back on our laurels and rely on traditional procurement that has been around. This robbing Peter to pay Paul stuff has been around for 500 years, never changed. So it's about time we had an opportunity to change. Homes England are an excellent authority to start to bring about that change. But I think they need to roll their sleeves up, get involved a little bit, and maybe not insisting on the wrong type of contract for the right, you know, we're changing. There's modular, there's platform design, there's all this stuff going on, yet, you know, there's an insistence that we stick to the traditional type of contract, we stick to the traditional type of procurement because it's safe. But it's not safe, it's high risk, and this is what we need to change. We need to get rid of the high risk procurement routes that we have at the moment and change the way that money and construction gets paid. Construction is punching way below its weight in wealth creation. Money is really slow in construction. It needs to speed up. We need to get it flowing. You know, micro milestone payments, transparent cash flow tracking systems, direct project bank account cash flow management systems, opportunities for new types of funding within the procurement route, the supply chain. You know, these are all things that can be implemented now through modern technology and independent cash management. So anyway, there's Stuart Davidson, your friendly bean counter. Maybe a little bit of a rant today, but I just feel that things should change, they need to change, and they will change. So this is Stuart Davidson signing off. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video.